here with Nicole Burgin. We're at the CASE social media conference in Boston, and it's Nicole's first time attending.
Yes, and actually really new to higher education. Made a career change.
You did. So tell me a little bit about where you're at and what brought you to CASE this year.
Well, I'm at Tulsa Community College, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I am 7 months on the job after making the career change. I was a former journalist.
Okay.
And so not only is social media new for me as far as how it's being used inside a higher ed institution, but the higher ed, just education in general, is very new to me. Mm-hmm. I came to CASE conference because we are trying to use social media to be more engaging and to use it for reporters in pitching story ideas.
Uh-huh.
And so first time here and learning a great deal as far as how it can be used, and really one of the big things is the engagement and conversation part of it.
Right, and we had a jam-packed day yesterday, and
We
we're in
did.
for another one today. Is there anything so far that stood out from the presentations you've seen that will be helpful for you to bring back?
There's a couple of things. Well, first of all, I am new and creating a communications crisis plan for Tulsa Community College. Mm-hmm. So some of that was talked about. Also the role of social media in crisis communication and in managing the situation. Mm-hmm. That's a big part of it. So there was some talk yesterday about needing to have a social media crisis communications plan, mm-hmm. and who has access mm-hmm. to the accounts at that time. Sounds very simple, but when you're trying to put together a big plan, just an overall communications plan for situations that might come up, social media is a key aspect, especially when your students gain a lot of their information through social media platforms at this mm-hmm. time. Mm-hmm. So that was a big one. Mm-hmm. And then interesting, since I was a former broadcast journalist, I used social media prior, but as a broadcaster, and that term was mentioned today. Mm-hmm. So not just broadcasting information, but really using it to engage and have a voice in the community and have your students have a voice in the community. So that's sort of changing how I think, because as a broadcaster, it's about putting information out there.
Right.
So this is, it's different in just how you come to the table with it.
Great, and absolutely, a lot of what we're talking about over the next couple days is about the community building piece to social, which is a little bit of a shift from that broadcast piece and just sharing that information. We're actually mining information back from our constituents too.
Well, and I just attended the session where they were talking about the information that is available from social media platforms, LinkedIn and Facebook, mm-hmm. and how you can use that to engage and where you're really targeting your audience. And it's just a different concept. We did that in my former career, but in higher ed, I'm learning how that is done and the tools that are out there, because that's the other thing is there are several to choose from. In some cases, there are a lot of different tools, mm-hmm. but what tool is right for your institution? And not wasting money too, because budgets are really tight.
That's right.
So what is working for other institutions and how they're using it, and would that work for what you need it to do?
And what are your thoughts about the folks attending in this community that we have here at the conference? Are you finding that it's easy to get information about what other institutions are doing? Are people open?
Oh, yeah. I mean, people are not only very welcoming, but they're so eager to exchange ideas. And I'm asking anytime there's a group that's gathered, especially at the breakfast and the roundtables, so what are you guys doing and what's working? One of my big questions is, what's the one thing you guys did that got the most engagement, the most, whether it's the shares or the likes or that people are still talking about? Because what's surprising to me, and not something I learned here at the conference, but just reinforcing, is it's not the big campaign that you've spent 2 days composing the Facebook post on. Sometimes it's as simple as a picture.
Right.
But I'm curious what has worked and what surprised people, because I think what surprises people on that social media platform, at least at this stage and where I'm at, is one of those things that's like, oh, I need to think about that.
Right. Yeah,
So.
some of those things that we take for granted sometimes.
Take for
that
granted,
really-
like the sunset picture. I know pictures work very well. It engages. A picture often elicits a response, an emotional response of some sort, or if it does, that's the kind of picture you want to have an emotional response. But we sometimes forget that. When we're so, well, in my background especially, when you're so used to pushing some information or trying to get people to come to the campaign or to come to an event, you forget about maybe that one image that would make someone go, wow.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you for joining us, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the events and catching up more.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's been great.
Yeah.